vibe feels so right. Pressure keeps rising, conquering the state. Surprise on the F1, unleash your rage.
All right, guys, we have made it out to the spot for the speed run. Obviously, this is the Kagama limited edition, completely stock. Only thing I changed on it, again, like my other cars, is just the connector to the battery, so it's got a QS8 on it. But I haven't touched the diffs, I haven't opened it up. I haven't done anything to this car other than just change the battery connector. We've got the GNS performance analyzer on there, and we're just gonna see how fast, you know, she is right out of the box, you know. So let's get on here. And I can't even see this thing, there's so much sun out. Let's go to track, start. We're reading, and let's see what she does, man. I had to I had cars coming, so I had to shut it down a little bit early. Ooh, you see that body catch here? Stop. Riyadh 65. Bro, that's hauling ass for something that's right out of the box, dude. That's awesome. 65 miles an hour. Screenshot that. All right, let's get some drifting in here. Ah. Ha. Yeah, buddy. Oh. Okay. So the center diff is moving and the rear diff is moving, but the front isn't. So it's got to be the front diff. Yeah, because look, it should go like this, right? Or did I lose? Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, okay. That's what it is. The front CVD pin broke. All right, guys, we're here with the Kagama LE limited edition. This is the Maiden Voyage. As you saw, I did speed run it. Had a little failure there, so that didn't last very long. But we put the upgraded CVs that came in the package with it, so hopefully that fixes that issue. And so for now, we're going to send it. We also have the M2C basher bar right here, ready to go. So we'll see how that does. So for now, let's get her done. Bro, I can't even go, I can't go that far. Look, I lose connection. Well, I can't see how far I can take it if I can't even go that far away from myself to... I mean, I don't have the little straw on the antenna, but maybe that's my fault or something, I don't know. Let me see. Woo! That's not bad for only getting a quarter of the normal run up because I lose reception. Oh, I shaved the ramp. Woo! I shaved the ramp hard, dude. I saw it. I literally saw. I basically jumped that ramp with the chassis. That's a decent one. Ooh. There we go. Ah, rod. Yeah, it's a shock rod, not a shock standoff. Yeah, that center diff opens up too much. Let's go, baby. You see how the front wheels balloon? Let's go, baby. Oh, that's fun. Well, there's a benefit. There's a benefit to having your center diff be open. Woo! Nice. 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 It's a good rig, dude. Bro, I just manual the jump. Woo, baby, let's go. Oh, yes, right side up. That was 130 feet. Woo. Woo. Let's go, baby. Oh my God, dude. Oh, that's that tire, man. Woo! Wow! Oh, okay. I thought I lost power. She flies, baby, she flies. Oh, I shaved the ramp. Let's go, baby. Ooh, yes, baby. Triple back. There's a certain amount of control you can't get out of it in the air. Ooh. Let's go, baby. That's the good thing about having those tires, is they'll allow you to self-right the car. Oh! Oh! Oh no, dude! What the hell? Bro, that thing just turned into a freaking, look at this. I think it's a rock. It literally just dead stopped it in the middle of the freaking. Wow. All right, well, that was not good. No, no, no. Let's go, baby. Woo! Holy mo, my body's sticking out sideways. Let me get up on here one time. There you go. Nice. Oh my God, I shaved the hell out of the ramp. Oh my God. Damn it. I was trying to get a full speed run, man. There we go. Woo! Wow. I'm telling you, dude, this never gets old, man. Woo! Let's go, Kagama. Oh, God, that was a hard bounce. Let's go, babe. Oh, okay. For a second there, it wasn't turning. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I lost steering. And you know what? Both Do RC and TP Parts Extreme had the same problem happen to them, where the servo went out on them on the first run. So I kind of expected this to happen, but yep. Yeah, no servo action. Oh, actually, I don't have anything actually. Is it overheating? Is that what it is? Let's go, baby. Nice. Nice little flip there. Oh my God. Okay. Nice. Oh, there we go. Woo. Let's see if it'll go into here. No. Oh. Let's go, baby. Woo. And we're back with an arm of servo that I had in the car. Woo. That was a little bit of a rough landing there. Oh my God. Oh, I completely missed the ramp. Holy moly. Let's go, baby. Woo. Oh my God. Woo. Let's go. Oh, that was a little bit hair raising right there. Something's broken. Oh. Ooh-wee, that sounds rough, bro. What happened, bro? Oh, it flexed in the rear. I mean, that's not the worst thing ever. The rear dog bone popped out of the input cup. Let me see if I can get you guys in there. All right, guys, we made it back to the shop with the Kagama limited edition. So, right off the rip, let's cover the things that went bad. The CVD, which was my fault. I didn't install the CVDs that it came with in the box. And that is an updated CVD. That's the reason why they sent them out with the new models, because they knew it was an issue, or Team Corrali knew it was an issue. So they went ahead and sent a revised set of CVDs. Once I installed them, issue was solved. I was able to self-right the car a few times throughout the bash and didn't have any of the CVDs break or any of that. So that problem was solved pretty easily. Then I had the reception issue, which again, that was a weird one because when I went to go do the speed run, I didn't have a reception issue. But then when I went to go do the bash off the ramp, I did have a reception issue. But either way, I don't really know why exactly that happened. Not a huge deal. I went ahead and plugged in my FlySky GT5, which I would have probably done anyway because I typically like to use my GT5 because it allows me to have all of my cars on one controller instead of having 20 million controllers. So that's how I fixed that problem. I just put it on my FlySky GT5. Again, I probably would have done that anyway. And then the third problem I had was the servo, which I did see a couple of other videos on YouTube of other bashers who had a similar problem. I don't necessarily think it's how I bashed it, because this servo that's in here is just a spare arm of servo from like 2 generations ago, and it didn't fail throughout the whole bash. So I don't think it's how I'm bashing it. I think, you know, they may or may not have an issue with their servos. I have already contacted TC or Team Corrali, and they've offered to replace the servo and even the radio and the receiver if I wanted. But I'm not worried about it really. This car will eventually go back on the shelf. So in terms of that, this car is also not on the serial numbered chassis. It is on a spare chassis I bought with the car. Chassis swapped it and then bashed it, as you saw. You guys saw. And then the original chassis is in my my build room. So I'll end up re-chassis swapping it, replace anything that's broken, and then put it on the shelf, because I do think it's worth having as a collector's item. You know, I think why not? You know, I already have a Kagama that's fully upgraded with ADU parts and all that stuff, so I don't really feel the need to have 2 of them, especially when this one is something that is a limited edition run. So yeah, so we had the issue with the servo, the receiver, and the CVD. All of those were no big deal. Pretty easy solutions. What do I think about the car? Well, I think this thing is just ridiculous. Oh, I should mention I should mention the basher bar, because I think you guys saw it at the beginning of the video, but how did that fare, right? You want to know, does it work? Does it not work? Is it worth it? Not worth it? I think it's worth it on any basher, mostly because most of these bashers have a weak spot, which is right near the rear bulkhead, because that's where the chassis thins out and whatever. I think most of you guys probably already know that. So from my perspective, what this thing does is just gives you a little bit more durability at the point where the chassis is the weakest. So in my opinion, yeah, basher bars are worth it, especially if you're going big. But even if you're not going big like I am, I think it helps keep the chassis strong where the weakest point would be, right near the rear of it. Is it going to make your chassis indestructible? No. Is the basher bar itself indestructible? No. You know, it's not like this is the end all of basher bars or whatever, but I do think it's a good investment. Put a basher bar on the chassis, make your chassis last longer, bash longer. Don't worry about the rear of the chassis. You know what I mean? I think I honestly don't even think I have to really talk about it. I think it's pretty like self-explanatory. You know, you've got a piece of reinforcement metal near the back of the chassis that ties to the center brace. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to work. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I should, you know, I feel like I at least should be mentioned and talked about. So back to the Kagama itself, other than those little things, hiccups that I had, at one point I had the dog bone come out of the rear input cup. That's where the video kind of ends. And essentially what happened is when I hit that ramp, and you guys have been here before to this channel before, know that ramp is really, really hard on the chassis. It's an ongoing issue that I've had with bashing off of that ramp. And it's something that I'm going to solve by using a different ramp in the near future. But essentially, it's not the car, because I have other cars that are fully upgraded that have that same exact problem. So it's not the car itself. It's just the way the ramp is. It's really hard on the car near the rear, because when it goes up the ramp, it like does like a double hit. It hits, and then it bounces off the back, and then it hits again as it goes off the lip of the jump. So it's just kind of is what it is. But that caused this brace here to pull the screws out, pull the bolts that hold this brace to this tower. And then once that let go, these broke down here where they attach to the chassis. And then I had no rear end or chassis support, you know what I mean? So that allowed the chassis to flex down, and it popped the dog bone out. Which is, again, it's kind of really not even a big deal, because I was able to take some needle nose pliers to hold the dog bone and turn my tires, and it popped back in, and then basically finished the bash. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the rig itself. Okay, it did 65 miles an hour out of the box. I didn't change any of the diff fluids. I didn't tune the diffs. I didn't change the fluid in the shocks. I did nothing to this car other than connect a QS8 connector. Because all my batteries have QS8 connectors, and I just think QS8 connectors do a better job of staying connected than EC5s. So, shock towers, no bends, wing mount, didn't break, no failures on the wing mount, A, B, C, and D blocks, perfect. Center diff to tower braces, no bends, no outdrive failures, no dog bone failures, no dog bone bends, no toe link bends, no arms broke, no shock standoffs broke. I mean, think about it, man. Just think about it for a second. I launched this thing repeatedly, 110 to 130 feet at, let's say, 55 miles an hour to be fair, right? And this thing took it over and over and over and over. And then I went to the park and bashed it even more. And those jumps aren't 100 feet, but they're at least 60 to 50 feet. And I didn't land it perfect every time. I don't want to make the bashing kind of monotonous, so I don't put every single hit that I have, every single jump, I don't put it in there. The same thing goes with the park bash. I don't put every single jump, because I try to just put in there the ones that are like the coolest looking, you know. But because I do that, sometimes you don't see some of the bad landings I have. And so I definitely had some bad landings, and this thing definitely took a beating. And like I said, if you've been doing this for long enough, you know that some of the biggest issues with bashers, and in particular some of the Armas, The pillow balls pop out. Arma fixed that with the Kraton V6, but they haven't fixed that with the other 6S cars. You know that shock standoffs, stock ones, and a lot of bashers aren't great. These don't have to upgrade them. Shock towers don't have to upgrade them. CVDs don't have to upgrade them. Arms don't break that easy. Toe links didn't have an issue. Dog bones don't have an issue. Center diff, outdrives, all that stuff, man. And I've said this before, it's not really anything new, but there's just a lot of little things about the Team Corrali cars that you don't have to worry about upgrading because they're so good out of the box. Does that mean the car is perfect? No, there are little things, you know, it is harder to shim your diffs, things like that. But even like if you guys saw my last video with the Traxxas Sledge, wire management that Team Corrali has, I've actually copied their wire management to a degree. These wires go from here over here. There's no chance this is going to end up in the gears. The wire that goes from the ESC to the receiver box goes underneath the battery tray and then across the chassis underneath this tower to chassis brace here on the front. That makes the wiring somewhat more difficult to manage when you're working on the car, but it makes it more durable in terms of it not having a chance of getting caught up in anything in the car. So Team Corrali has really, really good wire management. But again, you know, this is not to say that I'm only a Team Corrali guy, okay? Team Corrali didn't give me this car. I bought it because I have had a few comments here and there calling me a Team Corrali fanboy. But, you know, my thing is I want to speak positively about something that I understand is doing something that is actually very, very difficult to accomplish. I will say the same things about a Kraton or a Typhon or whatever. I just basically call it how it is. And in my opinion, this car as it stands, to take everything that it took and not have more brakes than it did, that means it's it's ridiculously stout. Especially like I said, the ramp, the bashing that I do is so extreme that I don't actually expect any of these cars to survive that. But I send it anyway, and then usually I upgrade whatever breaks. But if I were to upgrade this car, I probably would only upgrade some of the bracing and the chassis itself, because this is a 3mm chassis and M2C does make 4mm chassis, and those 4mm chassis are what you basically need to get a chassis that's truly sturdy and durable enough to do what I'm doing. Which brings me to a slight comment I want to make. M2C, man, let's get chassis for these things. Let's get bracing for these things. I know they're not going to do what I want them to do, and I know that what I say has almost zero influence, but man, would I love for M2C to jump on board the TC train and get a chassis, get some chassis bracing, you know, give us some hop-up parts, man, you know what I mean? But M2C does make standoffs and shock pistons, and they do make a couple of things, A, B, C, and D blocks, I believe. So they do make some parts. I just wish they would make the chassis. That's kind of the really important part, man. But anyway, the car did great. I think the Kagama is an animal. I think it's comparable to a Kraton EXB or a Kraton V6. I think if you're going to spend the money on either one of the three, they're all worth it, man. You know, they really are. There's nothing about this car that I would say is any more or less than a Kraton EXB or a Kraton V6. Like I've said before, each brand and each model has their pluses and minuses. There are little things that are good and some things that are bad. But overall, if you think about what these things are doing and what they're getting away with, what they have to deal with, you're getting your money's worth, you know, for sure. Oh, and the motor and the ESC never overheated. I bashed it hard at the park, just repeated back and forth, no issues. So the thing is an animal. I would just say probably upgrade your servo, and that's about it. I mean, really, if you wanted to go all out like I did on my other Kagama, you can do a 1650 kV motor from Hobby Wing and put a Max 6 G2 in it. That's what I did with my other Kagama, but I don't really think it's necessary. I just think I'm an idiot, and so I like to go crazy with it. But anyway, stay tuned, guys. I think the next video will be the 4S on 6S Outcast that has a full M2C catalog in it, but also has a part that is, I think, still in revision, but it is like a servo saver eliminator that I believe is still in revision, which means they're still trying to figure out the kinks in it. But for the purpose of the video, you'll get to see how it did, and I think it did great. I would sell the part the way it is now, but you know, they want to do it right. So anyway, stay tuned for that. If you saw my community post, Frankie, the Junkyard Basher, is together and will be tested this weekend. We'll see what she does, or he does. My wife will be happy about that one. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Till the next one, keep on bashing, guys.